Hello, good people. Welcome back to the Kuhb Games YouTube channel. My name is Evan, and we play goats here. We are just coming off of our second loss. We're 3-2 in the goatformat.com PWCQ, number 56. So we're 3-2 going in the last round of Swiss. We know 2 or 3 X2s are going to make the top 8. Can't really worry about the breakers, just got to kind of control what we can control and got to win this match. So this is the final round of Swiss. Hopefully we can have an X2 showing. That's not too bad. I don't feel too terribly bad about my losses. Again, one was against Alvarado. The other one was against another up-and-coming really good player. Both went to Game 3, and the Game 3s were fairly close, and just kind of came down to who could draw better off the top. Is what it is. It's perfectly fine. It is kind of odd that we've lost to Turbo twice, though. Turbo's not like a free matchup. I wouldn't say Warrior is like super ahead. I do think you are fairly ahead in Game 1 most of the time. But Turbo is Turbo. Turbo can certainly win those matches. Alright, so we haven't seen our 6th card yet, but not liking this hand a whole lot. Opponent opens on Upstart Goblin, so I'm like, yay, another Chaos Turbo. Which would mean 6 different Chaos decks, or 6 Chaos decks. Here, this is an interesting spot, actually. How aggressive do we want to be? This hand's not very good, to be honest. So I think what we want to do here is be very aggressive. We drew the Donzalug. That's like the only action really we have in the hand. My opponent played Upstart Goblin instead of Monster, so I'm thinking this is Chaos Turbo. So it's certainly not Reasoning Gate or something like that. So what I want to do here is play the Heavy Storm. If they plus off it, they plus off of it. That's fine. We are going in on the Donzalug plan. So we're going to Heavy Storm, Nobleman, take their board, play Donzalug, and take a card from their hand. We have Snatch Steel covered because we have a Dust Tornado of our own. And if the opponent wants to fight back with some sort of monster or whatever, we have a Snatch Steel. We are also a light away from turning on this BLS. So it is risky, but I think with the hand that we have, that's kind of what we've got to do. And I think really the only risky part of it is playing the Heavy Storm. If my opponent has a Jar of Greed, so be it. But if they have like a Raigeki break or something like that, which is actually more likely, cool. We get in with the Donzalug. We get to put our opponent on 3 cards. We would be down to Donzalug, Dust Tornado, BLS, Snatch Steel, so we're actually up a card here. And we're pretty close to putting BLS on the board, and Snatch Steel could turn some stuff here. So really the decision came down to this hand's not very good. This hand has to play hyper aggressive. There's literally just no defense here. So we're going to be as proactive as possible. I do believe that is the play I make. We'll see here. I could see myself not. Yeah, so I'm just not going to play the Heavy Storm. I'm also okay with that. We strip the Spies turn 1, which is very nice. And we're just not going to respect... just not going to respect the Sakuretsu armor. And we get ringed. Interesting. So I didn't make the hyper-aggressive play. I made a little bit more of a conservative play, which I don't know if I actually like. Just for the reasons that I've mentioned, that this hand's not very good. It's not defensive at all, so why not be hyper-aggressive with it? And like setting the Dust Tornado while I have the Heavy Storm doesn't really do a whole lot. Am I just passing here? Am I setting the Dust Tornado, trying to pick off like a Jar of Greed or a Raigeki Break or something in the instep? I don't know if this is really the right plan. I said there aren't really too many options here. I do set the Dust Tornado. I don't know about this. Like, I'm okay with setting the Dust Tornado. Maybe you could just like run into Breaker here. I don't know if I like this game plan. I draw a Blade Knight though, so you know, all is forgiven, I guess. I don't know. I think I like just ripping the Heavy Storm there. We do get a +1 here. They don't get to draw a card off of the Dekoichi, so that's nice. We do have a Dust Tornado set, so now we can take care of a lot of stuff. Kind of like setting the Dust Tornado. I think that's fine. Maybe it's not, because you can like run into Breaker or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like maybe I should have played that turn 1 differently. Heavy Storming into just a set back row, especially if you think it's Chaos Turbo, isn't always like the best play. But I think it fit into the plan that I probably needed to go with here a little bit more. Here they play Tribe, which is fine. They're going to ditch one of the Thunder Dragons, which leaves them with 3 irrelevant cards in hand. But now, like, I have a BLS, so it's not lethal just yet. But we'll just kind of see. We draw a Rhoda. So is that lethal? We can do 14, 44. No, it's not quite lethal. I do throw off the Rhoda. I think I actually go get Sasuke here to beat over the Tribe. I think that's what I do. Yeah. I didn't want to get a Blade Knight because I didn't want to commit either. I didn't want to commit both Snatch Steal and Heavy Storm to the board because my opponent hasn't been setting anything. And I don't want to run into Heavy Storm. Sasuke does the same thing as Blade Knight. Just deals, you know, 200 less damage. So that's perfectly fine. I think that'll work out. So we're still holding on to this Heavy Storm. They do have the Snatch Steal, so now I'm glad I have the Dust Tornado set. We take care of that. No reason to wait. Don't want my opponent to have some weird thing. So now they summon a Chaos Monster. Perfectly fine with me. This is the Chaos Sorcerer. Okay. They're actually going to attack. Which, I guess, like, I already have a Light in the Arts, so it's probably fine. Now it's interesting. I know they have 1 Thunder Dragon in hand. Drawing Mirror Force here is pretty nice as well. Just another, like, reactive card that I can use. So start thinking about it like I can Snatch Steal the Chaos Sorcerer, play the BLS, banish their face down, and let's see, and then attack for 2,300, and then I just have lethal in the next turn. That's not the worst play I've ever seen. There's also some of the BLS banish the Chaos Sorcerer. I don't really like that. I could just set Mirror Force and pass and hope that they attack with the Chaos Sorcerer, because it's definitely incentivized to. I don't hate that line either. Though, I think the aggressive line may just be better again, though. I guess it loses out to Heavy Storm and MST. Never mind. So, I probably just want to set the Mirror Force and pass here. Oh, I do Snatch Steal. Wild. Did I just play this game very poorly or something? I may have. I don't know about this. Because, yeah, I didn't know about that Night Assailant. Huh. Interesting. So now we're just going to premature the Dawn, I believe. See what they do about it. I think they flip a Judgment here. Yeah, they flip a Solemn Judgment. Hold up. No, because they were at 64. Okay, that's what I was going to say. Did I just miss lethal? But no. I'm not playing out the BLS here. There's no reason to lose to a Chaos Monster. They are going to play their own BLS. They're going to attack. I'm probably just going to Mirror Force, yeah. Alright, and I know their last card in hand is Thunder Dragon. So, yeah, I have lethal here. No. Do they have a Thunder Dragon in hand? Yeah, they do have a Thunder Dragon in hand. Okay, so I can just Heavy Storm, summon the BLS, Rhoda for any monster in my deck. That is a warrior type, level 4 or lower, and get in there for lethal. Not sold on how I played this game. Maybe snatching the Chaos Sorcerer and running over the monster was fine. I kind of like just setting the Mirror Force. I don't know. I don't know about that one. That's a weird play. I'd have to watch that again and really think about it. Maybe I played a little sloppily this game and didn't really think through my game plan as much, especially with that turn 1 play. I don't know. I see the arguments for a lot of those positions on the turn 1 play and with the Chaos Sorcerer play. This hand, again, has the awkward Dust Tornado Heavy Storm together, but it does have a Kaiku and a Graceful Charity, so I can remedy this a little bit. Also does have a Knock. Knock just amazing in this matchup. The opponent does start on a Pot of Greed, which is fine. Nothing too scary. They do set a monster, and they set 2 back row, which means I can throw off this Heavy Storm here. Oh, I draw Solemn Judgment. That's really good. Just throw off this Heavy Storm. I mean, they're likely to have a Jar of Greed or something, but again, just clearing up the field seems good to me. I can maybe Graceful Charity into something like a Trap Dust Shoot, which would be nice here. They do have a Jar of Greed. The other one is going to be a real trap. It's actually a Solemn Judgment. Okay. So, like that a lot. I'm going to just play the Knock, get rid of the Spies. I'm very, very happy about that turn 1. This opponent doesn't have any monsters. I think I may want to keep all of these cards and just not play the Graceful. Right? Definitely playing the Kaiku and attacking. And I think at that point I just save the Graceful Charity. Just set... May not even set the Solemn Judgment. I may just... No, just go ahead and set the Solemn Judgment. Okay, that's fine too. I think at this point it's like, protect the Kaiku. We can ride it to victory. I am actually going to Solemn Judgment this. This is interesting. So I'm paying 4,000 life points to protect a Dust Tornado. I really, really, really don't want to lose the Snatch Steal here. And I kind of want to send a message to my opponent and say, this is a real trap. Be careful. And my opponent is up on cards. We don't know any of them yet, but I don't want to go down anymore. So I'm just kind of like, we're going to ride this Kaiku to victory. So I'm going to Solemn Judgment that. And now I believe my opponent actually does play the Snatch Steal. Pretty sure that's the case. Yeah, they do play the Snatch Steal. I have the Dust Tornado. Awesome. So now I get to keep my Kaiku. Don't know what else is in their hand. Turns out they have a Zombra. That's very bad for me. So now I lose the Kaiku. Take 300. But the Zombra is not actually dealing any damage here. At least not past that first attack. I draw another Kaiku, which is interesting. It can't deal with the Zombra, but I think I'm actually going to hold on to this Graceful Charity here. Nope. Just going to go ahead and rip it off. I don't know if I agree with that play either. This Kaiku is definitely a card that I would like to keep, but look at me. I think I'm actually going to ditch Kaiku Blade Knight and set this Dust Tornado so that I can set up BLS just taking over the game. I could get rid of Dust Tornado, Kaiku, play the Blade Knight, and try to attack over the Zombra. But I think I'm just going to take the safe play of being able to just take out the back row. The Zombra is not actually doing anything. If they want to tribute it up for a Thunder Dragon, that's even better for me. They do get Thunder Dragon. So I don't think they go and get the second one. Maybe they do. I think they just drop it. Yeah, they're just going to drop this other one. to the yard and go get the other Thunder Dragon so they can play around Trap Dust Shoot. That's smart. Because as we've seen, you know, with the replay, they do have a BLS in hand. They have a Graceful Charity as well. That's pretty stacked. But, what, they don't have a Dark in the yard? Yeah, they just have 2 lights. Obviously, they can get there off of this Graceful Charity, but I'm kind of... I guess I'm not safe. They could play out the BLS here and kill me, but they don't, so deal. I go to 1600, or I go to 2100, I take 1600. Here I'm going to Dust Tornado, it is a Sakuretsu armor. I'll draw a Snatch Steal. This is going to lose me the game. It doesn't lose me the game, no, because they can play their BLS. No, this actually just wins me the game, right? Yeah, I think... I can't remember. I can't remember if I won this game or not. This is the last match I played too. Getting old sucks, so I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, so the Graceful Charity, the Snatch Deal's already gone, so likely they're going to have to deal with this BLS with Chaos Monster, and they only have 1 Dark in the yard, so they can't just like do double Chaos Monster. I guess they could off of this Graceful Charity if they discard another Dark, but we'll see. I think I'm pretty safe here. If they have to go in on BLS or a Chaos Sorcerer, obviously I have the Snatch Deal to win the game. We were down a lot of cards at some point this game, I do believe. Yeah, so they bring out the Chaos Sorcerer. They banish the BLS. They set a back row. What do I draw? I draw a Rhoda. Which is interesting. I think... Do I misplay this turn and lose? Yeah, I think this is the one where I respect Mirror Force. Yeah, because I Snatch Steal the Chaos Sorcerer, and I think instead of going to get a Blade Knight, I just attack with the Chaos Sorcerer? Yeah. Yeah, and I get Sakuretsu'd. Of course, they're the last card in hand. I don't know, but the last card in hand is the BLS. So had I gone and get a Blade Knight there, I would have won the game. Yeah. So maybe I was supposed to play around the Sakuretsu and just accept that I'm dead to a Mirror Force and a Torrential, and I think that's totally fair criticism. I do think I could have played that better and actually won that game. So I've played this match fairly not well. This hand's okay. We're going to draw 2 cards with the Pot of Greed, which, you know, Pot of Greed's good. Not the best draws in the world. Don't really want Torrential. I'm going to lead on monsters, but I'm going to go ahead and set it anyway. Am I just setting Torrential and passing? I guess that's fine. If they want to summon up something, not a big deal. I don't really want to run the Breaker out even with a Dust Tornado for this Snatch Steal. And I don't want to run out just a random 1600 Blade Knight. If my opponent sets something, I have a Knock, I have Blade Knight, I have Exiled Force, I can take care of that. If they summon out a problematic monster, I can take care of that with the Torrential Tribute. So, yeah, I don't hate that play. Alternatively, I could have just set the Dust Tornado and passed, but I do have a Breaker in hand, so if they go like set one, so they go T-set pass, I can just like summon Breaker, break their back row, Nobleman the monster. They set 2 and set a monster. Draw Sakuretsu armor, so cool. I think here I'm going to play, I'm going to play the Breaker. Believe they let this go through. It's really hard to Solemn a Breaker or something like that against Warriors, because it eats your life total down, and then Warriors can just kill you out of nowhere. So yeah, they let the Breaker go, put the counter on it, take the counter off, pop a back row here. I believe this is where Dueling Book decides to stop working on me, and I actually have to Yeah, it won't let me click here. I hit the Mirror Force, which is actually pretty big. Reading that the other back row is actually Solemn Judgment here. I actually know him, and I hit a face-down Zombara, so go me, I guess. It's kind of interesting there. But we do get in for 1,600. I am way up on cards. Opponent has 4. I guess I'm only up 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I'm up 2 cards here. Because my opponent's going to draw to 5. So in turn cycle, I'm up 2 cards. But that's really nice. Generally, you don't find yourself in that position against Chaos Turbo this early in the game. Opponent does set another monster here. I have the Exiled Force, and again, I'm reading that card underneath the monster to be Solemn Judgment. So I don't think they're going to Solemn my Exiled Force. I actually draw Delinquent Duo, which is just big game. So I think what I want to do here, now that the Torrential is gone for sure, like I can just play out this Exiled Force. If they Judgment it, they Judgment it. That's fine. If that is a spy and they want to flip it up, then I can just beat over the spies. If they don't flip it up, I can go get a level 2. Here I am just resetting Dueling Book because it wasn't letting me click for targets. And then like if they Solemn my Exiled Force, again, that's fine. I can just Delinquent Duo. And take out their hand and get 2 cards, and I've taken out their Solemn Judgment. They're literally left with this 1 monster. If it's a Magician of Faith, they can get back a Graceful Charity, but they don't have any other cards. So be it. But I don't think they're going to Solemn an Exiled Force. We'll see. I lead on Delinquent Duo. Okay. So I value the Exiled Force more than the cards in their hand. Sure. It's also fine. They're not going to Solemn the Exiled Force either. So at this point, maybe it's not Solemn. Hit the Gravekeeper Spy, and that's just awesome. Attack in for 16. They're 48. We're getting them there. Almost halfway. Really like this spot, obviously. Rip 5 cards to 2. I set the Sakuretsu armor. Just like, let's protect this breaker. If they draw Heavy Storm off the top, then, they go down to 0 cards. And I still have my breaker. I get to summon a Blade Knight, and we're just going to go on the attack. So now I know they have 2 Thunder Dragons in hand, which is great. Torrential and Mirror Force are both gone. So I can read that. This was absolutely incorrect. Did I not? I guess I didn't check. I should have checked the graveyard. Torrential and Mirror Force are both gone. I absolutely should have played the Blade Knight there. And put them to 1,600. Wow. I've played this match very poorly, I think. Almost every single game there was something that I definitely could have done better. Yeah, no, I definitely should have played out the Blade Knight and attacked. I set the Blade Knight. I don't want to put this up. Nah, that was... What was I thinking? Like, what am I thinking about there? Tsukuyomi doesn't do anything. Huh. I don't know what I'm thinking. Like, if I have... Especially if I had the early read that was a Solemn Judgment, and now I'm thinking maybe it's not, maybe it's a bluff or something. And all I have to do is check the graveyard. Maybe I was a little distracted because I'm just like, I'm just ahead by so much that I don't want to lose the game, that I'm playing around cards that are already gone because I'm just like, oh yeah, I can play around these cards, no problem, everything's fine. Huh. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, so I think we're going to chalk that up to just poor play and losing track of things, but yeah, not great. I think now I realize that the Mirror Force and Torrential are gone. So flip up the Blade Knight and probably summon the Tribe as well. Or maybe I Rhoda for something. It's not showing that I'm viewing anything though. Yeah, now I Rhoda for Sasuke, I think. Wild. No, I played this game very poorly. But I think it dawned on me that Torrential and Mirror Force are both gone. So yeah, I absolutely should have summoned the Blade Knight the last turn. Instead of just setting it in main phase 2, like what is that even doing? But yeah, so even as poorly as I played it, we do take the match. Don't feel good about that one now that I watch back. I think I played. Obviously, there were some mistakes, maybe some oversights, different lines, different game plans I could have taken throughout the tournament. But I think that one was all of that was poorly played. I recognize like my sort of like game plans in there that I needed to execute, and I think the execution of them was just poor in some areas, but that's fine. That's the beauty of rewatching your matches. You get to see, you know, with a new set of eyes that's maybe not in the moment, and just kind of talk over things with yourself a little bit more. See different lines, find different things, find where you can improve, and then you can improve from there, and that's how you get better. So hopefully I'll do a little better than this match in the future. But unfortunately, we did not make top 8 on Breakers, so that's going to be our run for this tournament. Pretty happy with the 4-2. This is the first online Go tournament I've played. I've played in played in paper and stuff. But we'll definitely be hitting more of these up, especially for the stream, the YouTube content. But yeah, thank you all for watching. We'll be back with more GOAT content soon.